any situation like this, they do bring out medics' mass casualty bus just in case there are people who maybe got hurt as the crowd was leaving the mall, or did, of course, got panicked and maybe did have some chest pains or something like that. But we don't know of anything officially confirmed. And also CMPD tells us they are not looking for any additional suspects. That one person is in custody right now.
Yeah, and it's always tough to see, or there's lots of questions when you see a mass casualty bus like that. But Robin, have you been able to see anyone who's coming out or into the mall aside from police, or are people kind of being told to just stay in the mall as they walk through?
We have seen a couple people gathering around the parking lot. We don't know if possibly they were inside and then evacuated. Haven't had a chance to talk to those people other than that gentleman you just heard from a little bit earlier, that worker who was inside. But mostly clear, other than just a couple of people in the parking lot, and mostly just police, fire, and medic on scene.
All right, Robin, thank you. And yeah, as we're certainly seeing a lot of the situation, the active investigation is happening out there at the mall. And I know that the CMPD is trying to also get us some answers as quick as they can as well.
Yeah, so we're going to go back out to our Daniel Pierce, who is heading to a press conference that we're anticipating hopefully soon to kind of give us some more details. So Daniel, you've moved locations. Where are you now in relation to the mall?
Make sure if you guys are able to hear me now.
There you go, Daniel.
We're
We
about
got
a football field away from where we were on that side of the mall. We're at a Wendy's right now. This right here is the media staging area. It's me and about maybe 10 other media individuals that are here waiting for that news conference. We do have one police officer here. He is, of course, trying to figure out who exactly is going to be coming to speak with us and how quickly they are going to be able to get over here. As you mentioned, this right here is an investigation that's going to be playing out over the next several hours to try and figure out, okay, what exactly happened, who is involved, what are the statuses of these individuals that were shot in this. This right here, you got to keep in mind, was a shooting in a mall around Christmas time in the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday, when there are other people inside there, potentially, dozens to hundreds of people inside there shopping. And that is what this investigation is going to be doing. You mentioned about how Robin, or you heard from Robin about how police are slowly letting people out right now. So while we do hope to have a news conference happening here in the next few minutes, it's possible it could take up to an hour to get officers over here to be able to walk us through what exactly they're able to walk us through. And then it may take until tomorrow before we were able to find out all the finer details of what exactly happened, especially since they do have one person in custody that they're trying to figure out how this happened, why they did it, and what sort of charges they're going to be facing. So that's what we're hoping to hear about here at this Wendy's, this media staging area just across from the mall. And whenever I say across from it, we are literally 100 yards from where we were, which was directly behind exactly where Robin is here at Northlake Mall. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And the moment we see them approaching this makeshift podium, we're going to let you know, and we're going to bring exactly what they tell us.
Daniel, there's people obviously there behind you. You're at a fast food restaurant right now. Do any people seem to understand what has gone on?
No, and that's the thing. It seems as if all of the commotion is on the other side, but here at the shopping area right across from Northlake Mall, it's business as usual. You got people pulling in here to the Wendy's or picking up their lunch, and then you have a Target which is directly across from where we are, and it's business as usual here. There is no commotion on this side, and that's potentially why police wanted to move everything over here. It is calm, it is controlled over here, whenever all the commotion that they are going through right now is on the complete opposite side of the street. And even as we were showing up, there wasn't a lot of traffic in terms of traffic caused by this. We did see police preventing people from pulling in to go to the shopping area and the Northlake Mall side of it. But traffic was moving relatively smoothly whenever we were showing up. So that is something, we mentioned as we get closer to that 5 o'clock hour, whether or not that's going to play an impact.
Daniel, one of the things you were just talking about, the traffic out there, can you see from your vantage point of where you are at this point, is there traffic backed up around the area? Do they have police? Have they blocked off the entrances to the mall right now?
I can tell you that that entrance over there to where Robin is, right over by the Dillers and the H&M, that is where we did see one officer, and then there's an entrance directly behind that that also had a police officer, and the police officer vehicle was only really parked to where, as you're trying to turn into the mall, that is what it was blocking. It was not blocking cars that were leaving. But in terms of traffic up here at that that intersection, I'm not exactly sure from my vantage point what exactly that intersection is. I do know we got Northlake Center Parkway, and then that is W.T. Harris Boulevard. Whenever we were over there, it didn't seem like there was a lot of traffic backing up caused by this, but that is something that we're going to keep an eye on. You can imagine it might get a little bit more hectic as officers are letting people out of the mall to get into their vehicles to try and go home and find some sense of calm out of a very chaotic afternoon that they've had.
Yeah, Daniel, absolutely. That's our Daniel Pierce at a media staging area where we're hoping to learn hopefully soon from CMPD about the situation unfolding at Northlake Mall. But if all of you are just joining us now during Queen City News at 4 o'clock, just to catch you up to speed here, there was a shooting at Northlake Mall within the last hour or so. We do know that 2 people were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. There is a suspect in custody, and I want to read to you an update from CMPD that just came in within the last 5 minutes or so. They say that an on-duty CMPD officer who was assigned to the mall was actually able to locate and find the suspect involved in this shooting and de-escalate the situation and take them into custody without further incident. It seemed like that happened rather quickly, though, so a quick response from them. They also said that they did recover a firearm from this scene, so that's the latest from them.
And it's good to have that kind of security at the mall, because we've certainly seen over the past few years there have been a lot of violent incidents that have happened at Northlake Mall where they've had to make some security adjustments and enhancements, some increasing of patrols in the area. Malls always have some sort of police presence, especially about this time when you have a lot more people out there, and especially at Northlake Mall where they've had some problems in the past. But it's good that they had someone there at the time to really protect the public that was inside the mall and hopefully prevent a lot more people from getting hurt than just the 2 people, unfortunately, that got shot today that have life-threatening injuries.
Right.